Right, for more on the markets, I'm now joined by Victor Seanie, who's Head of Research and Portfolio Manager at Benguela Global Fund Managers. Victor, very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Perhaps let's start here. Traffic through the Strait of Hormuz has slowed dramatically as security concerns mount. Oil prices have also been extremely volatile over the past few days. How significant is this for global oil markets?
Yeah, it is. It is very significant. I think there are three scenarios that could play out. One is the ongoing moderate delays of ships coming out of the Hormuz Strait, and the implications of that is continued ongoing volatility of of oil prices. Then there may be a more prolonged blockage of oil coming out of the Strait, and we'll see a rise in insurance costs and shipping freight costs, which will elevate oil prices. And the worst case scenario is if we have a prolonged closure of the strait, then we may be facing one of the worst oil supply crises since 1973. So the resolution is not yet complete and definitive. So yeah, we may be in for higher oil prices if the warring parties can't come to an agreement soon.
We know that South Africa imports a significant portion of its fuel. And of course, looking at what's happening in the Middle East, those tensions, how quickly are South Africans feeling the impact at the petrol pump, especially considering the price of diesel, as you and I speak this afternoon?
Yeah, we felt the impact of the petrol price by the month of June. So from the beginning of the year till June, unleaded petrol rose by about 30%. Unfortunately, the economy-wide fuel of diesel, its price is not coming down this week. Instead, diesel is going up by between R1.28 and R1.23 and R1.38. And that impact is going to be felt throughout the economy. Transport companies, our manufacturers, retailers, even our construction and mining companies in their equipment and machinery that's heavily reliant on diesel. And so that is going to feed into the economy. Inflation will persist, so consumers will pay higher prices at the till, and that will probably delay interest rate cuts from the SARB. So the pinch will continue indirectly, but fortunately, there's relief for consumers with direct petrol price decreases.
Yeah. Looking at company news, Netbank delivered a record first half earnings and its highest ever interim dividend. What message does that send about the bank's confidence in its financial position and the outlook for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think on factors that the bank can control, such as cost in particular, the bank has done really well. And for the rest of the year, that is going to continue to be a driver of their profits. On the lending front, they highlight that consumers are still under pressure because of affordability issues. And we've seen that come through in their credit loss ratios. South African consumers are struggling to pay back their home loans and their credit card and personal loans. And so that was the biggest challenge during this first half. However, those credit losses are somewhat seasonal. We should see an improvement in the credit loss ratio in the second half. So the bank, as a result, is expecting good earnings growth in the second half.
And Telkom continues to show momentum in its mobile and fiber businesses. What does this tell us about the company's turnaround?
Yeah, I think the company has done really well to take a further market share in the mobile data market, particularly among more price-sensitive customers. We saw year on year their mobile data subscribers rise about 16%, and their mobile data revenue was up 11%. So they've done really well in that department, but across the business, they've controlled their costs really well. EBITDA margins were up across all the divisions, including the division that's struggling, which is BCX, where revenue declined by 11%. But overall, a very good performance from management.
Very well. Thank you very much. Let's wrap up our conversation there as we really give you some insight on what is moving the markets and how that is trickling down to the South African economy. Markets, Victor Seanie, who's Head of Research and Portfolio Manager at Benguela Global Fund Managers. More news on the other side of this. Stay with us.